Alright, guys, it is time. It is time for my 2024 March Madness predictions. Anyways, the one seeds are UConn, Houston, Purdue, and North Carolina. So let's get to my predictions, starting with the East region. As you can see, I already have the defending national champions of UConn. Moving on, they have been so unbelievable this season, and yeah, I got UConn winning that game against Stetson, and then FAU and Northwestern. I want to have Northwestern beat FAU. FAU is not as good as a team like last year as they went to the Final Four last year. So I got Northwestern being excuse me, my gosh. I got Northwestern being FAU. San Diego State beating UAB. Auburn beating Yale. Duquesne pulling off the upset over BYU. And Illinois beating Morehead State. I have Drake beating Washington State. Iowa State destroying South Dakota State. Iowa State's been really good this year. And then we're going to have UConn destroying Northwestern. Auburn pulling the W over San Diego State. Illinois beating Duquesne. And Iowa State beating Drake. I know it's pretty chalky, but it is what it is. I got UConn beating Auburn. And I can't talk. Iowa State beating Illinois. So UConn and Iowa State. If this matchup happens, it will be so freaking good against that really good Iowa State defense and that really good UConn offense with Donovan Clingan. So, who's going to the Final Four? I'm going to pick the defending national champion UConn Huskies to win. Not the national championship, but beating Iowa State in the Elite Eight, going to the Final Four. Now let's move to the South region. Houston beating Longwood, obviously. Nebraska beating Texas A&M. James Madison pulling off the 12-5 upset over Wisconsin. Duke beating Vermont. NC State pulling off the upset over Texas Tech. Kentucky beating Oakland. Florida beating the winner of Colorado and Boise State, which I think will be Colorado. Marquette beating Western Kentucky. Houston beating Nebraska. Duke beating James Madison's Cinderella team. Kentucky beating NC State. And then Marquette beating Florida. Houston beating Duke. I'm picking Kentucky over Marquette. And then the Elite Eight matchup, Kentucky and Houston, is going to be a really hell of a game here. I'm picking Houston to win. Kentucky probably can't handle the amazing firepower of Houston's defense. And yeah, I got Houston and UConn in my Final Four. And then let's move to the West region. North Carolina being the winner of Howard and Wagner, which I think it will be Howard. Michigan State beating Mississippi State. Grand Canyon pulling off the upset over St. Mary's. Alabama beating Charleston. New Mexico beating Clemson. Baylor beating the toothpaste team, Colgate. Dayton beating Nevada. And Arizona beating Long Beach State. North Carolina beating Michigan State. Alabama ending Grand Canyon Cinderella team. Jesus, I can't talk today. Sorry, guys. Baylor being New Mexico. And then Arizona being Dayton. North Carolina being Alabama. And Baylor pulling off the upset over Arizona. I don't trust Arizona in the tournament. They choked last year against Princeton. And yeah. And then for a spot in the Final Four, I got North Carolina. I know. Everyone in the comment section is going to be, Lucas, he picked all the 1Cs in the tournament. No, because these 1Cs are weak conferences. Moving on to the Midwest. This is going to be a pretty interesting region here. Now, Remember, Purdue lost to a 16 seed last year. FDU. This year, I don't think they'll lose to a 16 seed again. I think they'll be beating Grambling State and TCU beating Utah State. Gonzaga and McNeese. That's going to be a hell of a game. McNeese, 30-3 on the year. Gonzaga, 25-7. I'm picking Gonzaga. They have the tournament experience, so yeah. Stanford pulling off the upset over Kansas. Kansas, as of late, has been playing very awful. Hunter Dickinson getting injured. And I don't know the other. Oh, Kevin McCullough, I think that's his name. Kansas will be first round exits. Oregon being South Carolina. Creighton being Akron. Texas being the winner of Virginia and Colorado State, which I think it will be Colorado State. I don't trust Virginia and with their offense. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. Hold on. And now Tennessee and St. Peter's. Okay, this is going to be interesting. St. Peter's, remember, 2 years ago, they went to the Elite Eight. They beat Kentucky, Purdue in the same year. I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm picking St. Peter's to beat a 2 seed again. I think they'll beat the Tennessee Volunteers here. Tennessee against Mississippi State the other day was playing very bad basketball. That was not Tennessee basketball. Rick Barnes choking again. And then Texas and St. Peter's. I'm picking St. Peter's. I'm doing it. I'm picking St. Peter's. I'm doing it. They're doing it again. They're going to the Sweet 16. And then Creighton and Oregon. I'm picking Creighton. First spot in the Elite Eight. I'm picking Creighton to end their Sweet 16 run. St. Peter's. And then Purdue beating TCU. And Gonzaga beating Stanford. First spot in the Elite Eight. Gonzaga and Purdue. Oh, this is going to be freaking interesting, bro. I'm picking Purdue. Revenging from last year, we're losing to a 16 seed. I'm picking Purdue. First spot in the Final Four, Creighton and Purdue. I'm picking Creighton to win. I'm picking the Creighton Blue Jays to go to the Final Four against Houston. And now, my Final Four. UConn, North Carolina. UConn beat North Carolina earlier this year. And then Houston and Creighton. I'm going to Houston and Creighton first because this is probably the weaker matchup. I'm picking Houston to beat Creighton. I think Houston will pull away late in the second half. And then UConn and North Carolina. I'm picking UConn. UConn and Houston have been the two best teams in the country the whole year. So, yeah. First spot in the national championship. UConn trying to go back-to-back. Houston trying to win its first title in a long time. I'm picking the Houston Cougars to win the championship. I'm picking Houston to win the championship by a score of 77-74. It'll be a 3-point contest. Or 3-point game, rather. So, yeah. Houston is my champion. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you all later. Peace.